You know that feeling. Your inbox is just overflowing, you're staring at a blank page trying to write something, or maybe you're buried under dense articles you just don't have time for. Or even just trying to plan a trip, and it gets so complicated. It's the modern grind, right? But what if there was like a new kind of personal assistant, one that could actually step in and dissolve some of that complexity, not add to it? Well, that's where generative AI comes in. And it's not sci-fi anymore. It's becoming a really practical tool for, well, everyday life. So our mission today is to cut through the hype, and really explore the actual tangible benefits generative AI offers, especially if you're not a tech expert. We keep hearing about this democratization of skills and how it acts as a great leveler. Let's see what that actually means.
Yeah, and what's really striking is just how accessible this stuff has become. It talks to you in plain English, basically, not code, so it can grab complex human ideas and just simplify them. It can break down communication barriers, even translate languages pretty effectively now. For this deep dive, we're focusing on 4 main areas where it's really making a difference. So boosting personal productivity,
right,
unlocking creativity,
okay,
helping with learning new things, and finally optimizing, daily life stuff, lifestyle choices.
Okay, that sounds huge. But crucially, we need to remember this AI is like a co-pilot, right? You're still the captain. So we'll definitely cover responsible use too. Things like AI making stuff up, hallucinations, plus privacy, bias, the important stuff. Okay, let's unpack this. So maybe let's start with the most obvious win. Productivity. Using generative AI as a, what did you call it? A cognitive offloading tool.
Exactly. Think of it like automating the really boring stuff, synthesizing heaps of information, streamlining those repetitive tasks that just drain your time and, frankly, your focus.
Yeah, the stuff you dread doing.
Yeah, right. And by handing that over, you actually get your focus back for the things that matter more. The strategic thinking, the, uniquely human parts of work. And these AIs aren't just fast, they change how we deal with all the information coming at us. Imagine, instead of wading through, say, a 50 email thread, you just get the 3 key action items, or that dense 20-page report. Suddenly, it's just a few bullet points.
That alone sounds amazing.
It's not just about saving time, it's about saving your mental energy, getting rid of the drudgery. So tools like Otter.ai have this autopilot feature. It can join your Zoom or Teams meetings automatically, and it gives you a transcript, plus an automated summary right after.
Okay, but how good is the transcription?
Well, that's the thing. Users do report some accuracy issues sometimes, so you definitely still need a human to glance over it, maybe correct a few things.
Right, so it's a starting point.
Exactly. It does the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
Then for documents, articles, you've got tools like Quillbot or Scribber. You can just paste text in or upload a file and get a summary. You can often tweak the length and focus too.
Customizable summaries. Nice.
And then there are even more integrated tools like Read.ai or Lindy. They can summarize a meeting and then say, create tasks for you in Notion or Slack based on that summary, automating the workflow.
Okay, so that covers dealing with all the incoming stuff. But what about sending things out? Writing emails, reports, even just a quick message.
Yeah, the outgoing side. That's where AI really shines as a writing partner. It's incredibly versatile. Give it a simple prompt, it can draft an email. Got a clunky sentence, it'll rephrase it. Need to change the tone from formal to casual. Boom, done instantly.
So you provide the main idea, and it does the wordsmithing.
Pretty much, and we're seeing this build right into the tools we already use. Think Microsoft 365 Copilot. It's deep inside Outlook for summarizing emails or drafting replies. It can even build a PowerPoint deck from a Word doc. It acts like a search engine for your company files, too.
I've heard about that. What's the feedback like?
People say the summarization is powerful, but sometimes the drafted text can be stiff, overly formal, and its Excel skills are apparently still developing.
Okay, good to know. And the Google side.
Right, Google Workspace with Gemini. Similar idea, AI, help in Gmail, Docs, Slides. Google seems really focused on making it easy to use, very intuitive. They even have a learning center to help people get started.
So lots of help with processing and producing text. What else?
Well, it's also becoming a kind of organizational guru. You know that feeling of staring at a blank page when starting a project?
Oh, yeah, the inertia.
AI chatbots are great for breaking that. They're excellent brainstorming partners. You can throw a vague idea at them, and through talking it out, you can get a structured outline for something or a list of creative ideas or even a whole project plan. It gives you that starting momentum.
So like ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini.
Exactly. Those general ones are super versatile for planning. But you also have dedicated tools like ClickUpBrain, which can summarize threads within your project management tool, generate task lists, even translate summaries for teams.
This all sounds incredibly powerful. But who benefits the most here? Is it mainly for tech-savvy people, or does it actually, like you said, level the playing field?
That's such a key question, and the research is actually pretty fascinating. It really does seem to be leveling the playing field. Studies are showing that the biggest relative productivity boosts go to people who are maybe less skilled or experienced in a particular task. One study found, get this, a 43% performance jump for people in the lower half of skill levels versus only 17% for the top half.
Wow, 43%. That's huge.
It is. The AI acts almost like a patient tutor. It handles the basic stuff, helping novices catch up faster. But for experts, it works differently. It augments their skills. Like a consultant using AI to crunch data quickly so they can focus on the high-level strategy. So it's this dual thing. A teacher for the beginner, and a super-powered assistant for the pro.
Okay, but is there a catch? That sounds almost too good to be true.
Well, there's a risk. A subtle but really important one researchers call automation bias. There was this crucial study. When people used AI for tasks that were just outside what the AI could actually handle well, their performance dropped significantly,
Right.
by an average of 19 percentage points.
Dropped. Why?
Researchers observed that people would kind of switch off their brains and follow what AI recommends. And because these AI models are designed to sound confident, even when they're wrong, when they're hallucinating, if you're not paying attention, you just accept the error.
So you trust it too much and stop thinking critically.
Exactly. It produces convincing nonsense sometimes, which raises a really important question for all of us using these tools. Are you staying engaged?
That's actually quite sobering. A tool meant to help could make us less careful if we're not.
Well, careful. So the mantra has to be stay alert, stay critical, be the human in the loop, right? Always check its work. Okay, just quickly, you mentioned Copilot and Gemini earlier. Is there a big price difference?
Yeah, there is. Microsoft 365 Copilot is generally around $30 per user per month, and you need a base Microsoft 365 plan first. Google Workspace with Gemini is usually a paid add-on to their existing workspace plans, so the pricing varies a bit more depending on your setup. Got it. Okay, so we've covered efficiency, getting stuff done faster, but what about the creative side? Writer's block, getting original ideas. How is AI impacting imagination?
Creativity. Yeah, this is another huge area. AI is really lowering the barriers here, that blank page fear. It can really help with that. Think of AI as a springboard. It can spit out plot ideas, character sketches, bits of dialogue, even a whole rough draft from just a basic concept.
So it changes the process.
Yeah.
Less starting from scratch, more editing.
Exactly. It shifts the focus from pure creation to more curation and refinement. For general creative writing, ChatGPT and Claude are both really strong. A lot of writers seem to lean towards Claude, saying its prose is a bit more nuanced, maybe more literary.
Interesting. Any tools specifically for fiction?
Yeah, Pseudowrite is built for novelists. It has features to help brainstorm plot twists or expand on existing scenes. And for more general content marketing copy, Blog's Jasper is popular. It has a boss mode that's quite powerful. But like with any AI, you have to check its factual claims, always.
Okay, writing makes sense. What about visuals? Making images used to require real skill or expensive software.
Totally revolutionized. Text-to-image generators are here. You type a description, a prompt, and the AI creates a unique image, sometimes in seconds. It's genuinely democratizing visual creation. Two big names stand out. Midjourney is known for really artistic, often cinematic results. It works through Discord, which has a bit of a learning curve, and there's no free trial anymore. Also, images are public by default unless you pay for stealth mode.
Public by default. Okay, good to know for privacy.
Right. Then there's DE3. It's super user-friendly, often accessed via ChatGPT or Microsoft Copilot. It's generally better at understanding complex prompts and can even create images with readable text in them, which Midjourney struggles with.
And are these integrated anywhere, like in design tools?
Yes, definitely. Platforms like Canva, Adobe Express, even Freepik are building AI image generation right in. Makes it seamless for presentations or social media graphics. And there are free options, too, for just playing around CG Dream, OpenArt, Starry Eye. We can link those.
Cool. So images, well, presentations. I know that's tedious.
Well, yeah, AI is tackling that, too, turning hours into minutes. Tools like SlidesGo, Presenti, Visme.
Yeah.
You give them a topic or maybe feed them a document, and they generate a whole multi-slide deck.
The whole thing. Structure, text, visuals.
Pretty much, it gives you a polished first draft, usually exportable as a standard PowerPoint file, so you can still tweak it.
It's a really fascinating, maybe complex relationship developing between AI and our own imagination,
Yeah.
isn't it? What's fascinating here is how it clearly seems to boost individual creativity, but is there a downside to everyone having these powerful tools?
That's the paradox, isn't it? Studies do show AI helps individuals. People produce better content, overcome blocks. One study suggested a 26% improvement in creative abilities, but if you zoom out, look at the bigger picture, research also hints at a potential homogenizing effect on collective creativity.
Homogenizing, meaning everything starts to look the same.
Kind of. The AI models learn from massive data sets of existing human culture, right? So they act like a strong anchor, subtly nudging millions of users towards similar creative choices, common themes, popular styles. So while the average piece might get better, the overall diversity and originality of what we create collectively could potentially shrink a bit.
Hmm. So your role becomes even more important to push back against the easy answer. Inject your own unique perspective.
Precisely. You can't just take the first thing the AI gives you.
So it really emphasizes that shift, doesn't it? From being the sole creator to maybe being more of a curator or a creative director.
Exactly. The AI gives you the almost finished thing. Your job shifts to the vision, the guidance through prompting, the selection, the refinement, the critical judgment. You're directing the AI.
Okay, let's shift gears again. Learning. How is AI changing the way we learn new skills or understand tricky subjects? It feels like having a 24/7 tutor on call.
It really is a game changer for anyone wanting to learn on their own time. Stuck on a difficult concept. Textbook confusing. AI can break it down differently, rephrase it, explain it simply. It can even create custom study guides or quizzes just for you on demand. It adapts to your pace.
Are there specific tools leading the way here?
Well, Kamigo from Khan Academy is often seen as a kind of gold standard. It uses the Socratic method. It asks you questions, gives hints, nudges you towards the answer instead of just giving it to you.
So it makes you think it through yourself.
Right. People praise its limitless patience. And it's affordable, around $4 a month, though some users find it frustrating when it won't just give them the answer directly.
I can see that.
Yeah.
What about general chatbots?
Oh yeah, ChatGPT, Gemini. They're excellent instant tutors, too. You can literally ask them, explain quantum physics like I'm 5, or quiz me on the causes of World War I. Very versatile.
And what about languages? That's always a big one, especially overcoming the fear of actually speaking.
Huge potential there. AI is bridging that gap between knowing the grammar and actually using the language. Apps like Duolingo Max have AI features like explain my answer to clarify grammar, and roleplay, where you converse with AI characters in different scenarios.
How's the feedback on those?
It's mixed. Some find the practice helpful. Others feel the AI voice is still a bit robotic, or the interactions aren't deep enough. There is also some controversy about Duolingo replacing human course creators with AI, but there are alternatives. Babbel is more traditional, structured lessons. Lengua gets praise for more realistic AI voices and letting you pick specific topics. And TalkPal focuses on immersive, real-life conversation scenarios.
So with learning tools like Conmigo versus ChatGPT,
Yeah.
it seems like there's a fundamental difference in approach.
Absolutely. It raises an important question about why you're using the tool. There's this philosophical divide, really. You have the Socratic tutor like Conmigo aiming to teach you how to solve problems, guiding your thinking. And then you have the answer machine like ChatGPT designed to give you the solution quickly and efficiently.
Right, so you need to be clear on your own goal. Am I trying to truly understand this deeply, or do I just need a quick answer right now?
Exactly. Your objective should really guide which tool or which approach within a tool you choose.
Okay, this is fascinating. Let's broaden out even further. How is AI creeping into optimizing just everyday life? Practical stuff like managing money, health, even planning holidays.
It's definitely moving into those areas. Take personal finance. AI is acting as a smart financial assistant. Apps can securely connect to your bank, automatically categorize your spending, spot trends, suggest budgets, often using a friendly conversational style to make it less intimidating.
Any examples jump out?
Clio is a well-known one. It has this sassy AI personality that kind of roasts you about your spending habits, makes it a bit gamified. It's not always perfect at categorizing things, but it tries to make budgeting more engaging. There's also Pocket Guard, which uses AI to show you clearly how much is safe to spend. The landscape changes, though. Mint was a big player, but it's been discontinued.
Okay, money management. What about health and wellness?
Yeah, it's moving there, too, acting as a kind of personalized wellness coach. For meal planning, you have tools like DishGen or Meal Practice. They can generate recipes based on ingredients you already have, great for reducing food waste. DishGen can even build whole weekly meal plans for specific diets.
That could be useful. What about fitness?
There are apps like Fitness AI and Health AI that promise personalized workout plans that adapt over time. But honestly, the user reviews are a bit mixed. Some people question how well they really work or adapt, so maybe approach those with a bit more caution.
And mental wellness. That seems like a sensitive area for AI.
It is, but tools are emerging. Wiza is a prominent example. It's an AI chatbot, often depicted as a penguin, that guides users through exercises based on cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, and dialectical behavior therapy, DBT. It offers anonymity, which is a big plus for many, and has lots of self-care techniques. But the responses can sometimes feel a bit generic, and you often hit a paywall for the really in-depth content.
Right. And travel planning. That can be such a headache.
AI wants to be your effortless trip planner. Tools like Layla, WonderPlan, Trip Planner AI. You tell them your interests, budget, dates, and they can generate a full personalized itinerary, optimized routes, the works, often in seconds. Many allow collaborative planning too, and lots have free tiers, making complex planning much more accessible. Like having a travel agent on your phone.
Okay, wow. Finance, health, travel. These apps sound incredibly personalized, which brings up a huge question. Privacy. Here's where it gets really interesting, right?
It's the fundamental trade-off. To get that deep personalization, the tailored budget advice, the specific health recommendations, the perfect trip itinerary, the AI needs your sensitive personal data.
Your bank transactions, your health stats, where you are, what you like.
Exactly. You're basically exchanging that data for the convenience and the tailored guidance. And this raises that critical question. What are the risks? Your data could get caught up in a data breach. It could be used for marketing in ways you didn't expect. There might not be much transparency about how it's handled or who sees it.
So before hitting connect or allow, you really need to pause and ask yourself, what am I giving up here? And is the service I'm getting really worth that potential risk?
That's the crucial evaluation everyone needs to make consciously.
Okay. We've covered the amazing potential, the benefits across so many areas. But now let's get into the really critical part. How do we use this stuff responsibly? What new skills do we need?
Right. Navigating this new landscape. The single biggest risk, the one everyone needs to be aware of, is AI hallucination.
We mentioned it earlier, the AI just makes stuff up.
Exactly. It generates information that sounds totally plausible, confident, authoritative, but it's factually wrong or misleading or completely fabricated. And it's vital to understand why. These large language models, they aren't giant encyclopedias retrieving facts. They're more like incredibly sophisticated prediction engines.
Stochastic parrots, I think you called them.
That's the term. They're predicting the next most likely word based on all the text they've ingested. They learn grammar, style, patterns, but they have zero underlying concept of truth or falsehood. Research shows even the best models hallucinate. And sometimes, making the AI more pleasant or helpful can actually make it less factual. There's also that sycophancy effect. If you state something false confidently, the AI might just agree with you.
So it's not just getting things wrong, it's confidently getting things wrong, and sometimes even agreeing with your wrong ideas.
Precisely. It's like that brilliant intern who's incredibly fluent but completely unreliable and occasionally just invents sources.
Okay, so how do we deal with that?
There's really only one reliable strategy. Verify, then trust. Full stop. Any factual claim, any statistic, any date you get from an AI, treat it as a starting point, never the final word. You must cross-reference it with reliable primary sources before relying on it.
Verify, then trust. Got it. What about data privacy in more detail?
Super important. We often just click accept on privacy policies, but you should try to ask some key questions. First, is my data used for training the AI model? For many consumer tools, like the free version of ChatGPT, the default is, yes, your conversations help train it. Usually, you can opt out, but that might disable features like saving your chat history.
Okay, so check the defaults. What else?
Is my content private by default? Not always. We mentioned Midjourney. Your images are public unless you pay extra for stealth mode. Compare that to Google Workspace with Gemini. Google states your business data isn't used for general model training without permission, and your content stays private. Otter.ai says it might train on de-identified audio with permission, but your recordings are private unless you share them.
So it varies wildly.
It does. You also need to ask, who is my data shared with? And what are my rights? Can I access my data? Can I delete it? These are critical things to understand before you dive in.
Okay, verify facts, check privacy settings. What about bias? AI reflecting societal biases.
That's the other major challenge. AI models learn from the world's data, and that data is full of human biases, conscious and unconscious. The AI learns and inevitably reproduces them. We see it clearly in image generators. Ask for doctor, you might get mostly white men. Ask for nurse, maybe mostly women. Ask for high-paying jobs, you might see lighter skin tones. Lower-paying jobs, maybe darker skin tones.
So the AI isn't biased on purpose. It's just reflecting the biases in the data it learned from.
Exactly. So as a user, you need to be critical. Question the default outputs. If you ask for a group of engineers and get a homogeneous picture, recognize that reflects the data's bias, not necessarily reality. The strategy is to be specific in your prompts. Don't just say doctors. Say a diverse group of doctors, including women and people of various ethnicities. You have to actively guide the AI towards more equitable and realistic representations.
Right, you have to consciously counteract the defaults. This all seems to circle back to one core idea, doesn't it? The human in the loop.
Precisely. That's the most effective and the most responsible way to use AI. It's a collaborative partner, not a replacement for you. Think of it this way. AI provides the raw material, the first draft, the data summary, the initial design, but you, the human, provide the essential, irreplaceable things.
Like the vision, the strategy.
Exactly. The vision, strategic intent, ethical judgment, emotional intelligence, that creative refinement, and crucially, the final accountable sign-off. The AI is like a really powerful, really versatile intern. You need to direct it, guide it, check its work. Don't just obey it like an oracle.
So wrapping this all up, it feels like generative AI is really here to stay. It's not some niche tech anymore. It's becoming a fundamental general-purpose tool woven into our digital lives like, I don't know, the PC or the smartphone was.
Yeah.
And for you, the listener, especially if you're not deep into tech, the benefits seem really tangible. Automating tedious stuff, simplifying complexity, lowering barriers to creating things or learning new skills. It really could be that great equalizer.
Absolutely. We've seen how it can be your productivity booster, your writing buddy, your info manager, your creative spark, even your personal tutor. We've touched on tools from big suites like Microsoft 365, Copilot, and Google Workspace to specialized apps for managing money, planning trips, or learning languages.
But maybe the most important takeaway isn't just the tools themselves, it's the mindset we need.
Right.
A new kind of digital literacy.
Yeah, one rooted in critical thinking, having a healthy dose of skepticism, being aware of your data, actively looking for and countering bias.
So what does this all mean for you listening?
Well, the future probably doesn't belong to people who get replaced by AI. It belongs to the people who figure out how to work with AI effectively, people who use it to augment their own abilities, get back valuable time, and unlock new ways to grow, create, and express themselves. The Copilot's ready. The journey's really just beginning.